Today, our armed forces joined our NATO allies in airstrikes against Serbian forces.
What do you think of NATO's role in the escalation of conflict and the Cold War atmosphere in the world?
Inside of the subset cap of the peace in the world, he became the striking first of USA, and the best example of this is illegal aggression against the Federation in 1999, 75 years after the founding of NATO, in condition when the geopolitical map of the world is changing, and when China is pushing the USA as the world leader, it is technological development and economical growth. The North Atlantic Alliance is still the main support of America in all the wars. It has straight and is straightening around the world.
A quarter of a century has passed since the NATO bombardment of Yugoslavia with depleted uranium ammunition. How did it affect the physical and psychological status of people who were exposed to the effects of these weapons?
The bombing of Yugoslavia in 1999 was extremely destructive because depleted uranium is heavy radioactive material that has so far been used exclusively by the contracts of North Atlantic Alliance in armed conflicts. Depleted the converge that use of this type of ammunition leaves very serious consequences. Experience show us that many people who suffered the attacks or very just victims of bombing mostly saved from post-traumatic stress disorders, depression, and other psychological problems, and these traumas can be present, which means they require treatment and professional help.
You initiated legal proceedings against the NATO for the use of depleted uranium ammunition. What motivated you to start this process?
I was motivated by the desire for justice, since my mother was a direct victim of the bombing with depleted uranium munition, contract cancer, and later died. Also, many of my relatives and friends fell in from cancer caused by depleted uranium. Therefore, everything I have done so far has been in interest of protecting the rights of my clients, with the aim of activists not only justice but also the right, the compassion for the victims in terms of activating the necessary financial assistance for expensive treatments. I was also mindful that promoting accountability in the military action and creating legal precedents precedents could prevent similar incident in the future.
It has been 4 years since the first lawsuit was filed. What complicates and delays this court process?
Principles against organizations such as NATO can be extremely complex and a challenger for several reasons. First of all, principles against international organizational null the allocation of international law, which means that in each of jurisdiction and immunity might be raised, which might be decisive for outcome of processing. At the same time, it not only necessary to prove the use of depleted uranium munition, but also confirm that this ammunition directly led to the damage alleged by the prosecutors, which in the case of Serbian victims is very expensive and usually requires that analysis be done aboard, which requires additional time. Therefore, it is necessary to secure financially resource and arm yourself it explanation patience for this long and demanding process.
How do you rate the chances of getting through all these processes? What effect do you expect it to have around the world?
I'll have in mind a power of an organization such as NATO. But this does not necessarily mean that it's impossible to win NATO in court, which is also confirmed by the case of Italian soldiers who received high compensation claims. If I could win the case in NATO and prove responsibility for use of depleted uranium ammunition and in questions its cause, it could have significant demonstrative effects around the world. Such an outcome could send a strong message about the need to respect international law and humanitarian principles in military actions. It could also serve an example of research and presentation of humanitarian rights in the context in international conflicts. However, it should be kept in mind the legal processing can be uncertain given that the most powerful countries in the world trump international law for the sake of their interest. I determined not to give up the lawsuit because that option is not acceptability by Serbian people.